Hey guys, what's up? It's Slickshot Games here, and we're gonna tone it down a bit and be having a in-depth conversation with killer413, a debatably a paranormal investigator. Now, hello, how are you doing today?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah. Uh, so I'm just gonna let you get rolling and just tell me. What things have you? Oh, may I clarify? He is talking about, or he has experienced things in Saint Augustine, a place known for its uh, paranormal activity. So tell us, Killer413, what have you experienced?
Well, St. Augustine is actually one of four cities in the entire world that's on a crossroads for the paranormal. So there's only four places in the world. I'm not sure the other ones. So this makes this area a very good hotbed of activity, actually. So St. Augustine, as some of you might know, is the nation's oldest city for America, that is. And
Indeed.
there's lots of little hauntings in St. Augustine, Florida. A few of them actually. There's a lot of ghost tours and stuff like that. I actually work for one of the.
Which I heard you actually give tours, or you assign tickets for tours, or sell tickets for tours, right?
Well, actually, yes, I do the ghost tours around St. Augustine. There's a few different companies, but we're the only ones that actually do non-theatricals. Most of the other companies are all jump out at you, such as like Halloween Horror Nights, something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ours are more investigational, so we have groups of about 12 at max just to keep the activity good.
And you've been on a these tours personally?
I have been on a few of these tours. I've not been on all of them, I won't lie, so.
Are they like authentic, investigations, or are they
Uh,
staged, or what is this?
no, mainly, most of them that we do, actually, you'll get to use some of the equipment that we have in the store as well to get readings and such as like the EMF meter and things like that, which pretty much just detect energy of the area that you go into.
Is that the device that picks up heat levels or
That would
temperature?
be a temperature gun. We have
Oh,
those as well. There's a lot of different little equipment. You wouldn't know it unless you dealt with the stuff. But there's over at least 20 pieces of equipment. It's kind of weird, but I don't know why anybody would need that much equipment.
yeah,
But
they're hoarding equipment.
yeah, they are.
But and the thing everybody wants to know, everybody in quotes, have you experienced any paranormal activity or seen any
I want to know.
paranormal
I want
activity?
to know.
What is saying in the background?
The people in the back want to know also.
The people in the background.
Have you experienced or detected any alternate life forms? Okay, that was not well put. What am I talking about? Aliens? Uh, a paranormal beings.
Yes, actually, one of the buildings that we go into exclusively is called Antiques and Uniques. And inside that building, there's actually five spirits there. There's four children that died there, and a Haitian slave that hung himself.
Oh, really?
So that one has generally a lot of activity. We've seen many. There's of course all the orbs and stuff like that, but we've actually seen some full.
Full apparitions.
There we go.
Wow, that's so you personally saw an apparition.
Yes, I did on one of our tours that week. Because sometimes we'll just go in there by ourselves and look at this stuff, and just the tour company it ourselves will go and do our own private investigation just to keep up with it all.
Oh,
So
wow. That's
when we do
pretty
that,
cool.
we generally get a lot of activity.
Have you
hmm
So were you shocked when you saw this apparition? Was it just a person, like a child, or what was it?
Yes, the child that we believe appeared, his name, we call him Tim.
Wait, you guys name him? You named him Tim, or is this
Yeah,
based
we
on prior
named Tim.
historical knowledge?
I'm not sure if the name comes from anything. I believe we just call all the spirits something. There's a bunch of spirits that we
Do you
deal
think
with.
they can pick up on this and are offended that you might be misnaming them?
Some of those spirits actually have shown aggression, a little bit of aggression.
Really, like they're some well, their form of violence. Really, they've shown that.
Yes, they have. Actually, a few of them have thrown objects,
Really,
uh,
poltergeists.
something like that, but not exactly at that level yet. There's a few levels for paranormal activity. There's a pretty much level one, which is the easy, not too much. Maybe like you'll hear scratching on the walls and
Yeah,
such.
noise, audio.
Mm.
Nothing visual, right? Is that
Not at that level generally. That's feeding into level two, and you'll get some
how
sort.
many? Break down the level system for us.
Well, we have like level one. I said that one's the mild. There's only about three different levels that we use to categorize things, so there's not too many levels. But the second level, you'll start seeing orbs, and the area might get colder, things like
Yeah, more visual, more
yeah. And then
more
level three.
senses.
Level three is when you actually get to like when the spirits will start scratching you and becoming aggressive.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. We
Have had
actually. Hmm?
what?
No, no, go ahead.
I was gonna ask. Yeah, you might have been leading into this, but I was gonna ask: has any of your coworkers or any people on the tour felt any like physical, uh,
Yes, actually.
like being pushed or like shoved? Because I've seen things on like cameramen or things or people being pushed, like downstairs or pushed
Mhm.
against walls and or felt like they were being held on the spot. So
Yeah, there's actually a few of one of our tour guides won't actually go into the building that I'm talking about right now. For reasons unknown to me, he hasn't told any of us why, but one day he went in there about 10 years ago, and
he
ever
was
since,
alone.
he was with a few of the other people that used to work there. So none of us that presently work there really know the story too well, but he won't really go into that building ever again. Not sure why, but he won't even go near it at all. And he's a tour guide himself, so he just
Oh
says something
wow.
about the level of activity that's in that building generally. There'll be people that come out with scratches and stuff like that.
Really, like physical, genuine scratches you can see.
Uh,
Like
yeah, it's all on our website actually. A few of the photos of that, people will come out with scratches on them and stuff like that.
that's
Mm.
crazy. I mean, and the debate still goes though whether paranormal activity is real or not. Like it still goes on. People still don't you know
Yeah, there's a
think
lot.
that's true even with evidence,
Mm.
like physical evidence.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who still don't believe in any type of paranormal activity, but that's up to them, of course.
Yeah, I had a friend personally, a friend. He shall not be named, but he had a poltergeist or some kind of a apparition in his home that would was very aggressive and would actually like hold him down on the bed and like
Mm.
throw objects across the room, and it was and he had to get some kind of a
Oh, somebody that had to exercise the area or
yeah,
something?
like cleanse the area, or I'm not really sure. The word I'm looking for isn't coming to my head right now, but
Mm.
he had to, or he or she had to actually like spiritually cleanse the area,
Oh
and then
man.
the spirit went away. But yeah,
Yeah, but it's a little while.
yeah. Thankfully,
Mm.
I haven't experienced that. Have you seen any?
Yeah.
Have you experienced anything in your own homes or anything?
I the house I'm in right now. Actually, I don't believe there's anything that would be too bad here. If there is anything, it hasn't really made itself known or anything like that.
Have you heard?
So.
Have you heard or experienced from any coworkers or any friends about possibly a ghost following them to their home or something of that sort. Has that
Yes,
ever happened?
a lot of the tour guides, since they go into some of these buildings a lot and often, some of these spirits will actually get attached to them, and they'll have to just physically just tell the spirit no, just to back off of them.
Has there been any friendly relationships between the ghosts, like where a coworker wouldn't mind if they did follow them home?
Actually, one of the ghosts supposedly likes one of the tour guides. I don't know if I can completely, I'm not sure if this is completely 100% true, but that's what they claim. So that one has become attached to her every once in a while. So beyond that, they usually will follow the tour guides for a little while since they're just so familiar with them because they're doing the tours every night that they always with the spirits. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, other than that, they don't really tend to follow too long. If they did, that wouldn't be too good.
yeah. That wouldn't even be good for a tourist, economically. Like for
Yeah,
tourists, like if the apparitions or all the paranormal activity would just start dimming down because they'd be being attached to like you know the coworkers, your coworkers and stuff.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a few there's lots and actually there's lots and lots of places and actually the entirety of the downtown St. Augustine, St. George Street, it's actually since the history of the town with the English and how they had the war there and all of that. They had to bury the bodies somewhere, of course, right? So
Yeah.
the entirety of St. George Street is actually buried right on top of a burial ground for the English. So every time you go on St. George Street, you're actually walking on a burial ground the entire time. It's a nice little fact to throw that there for you. So it's
Yeah.
pretty much looks extremely haunted the entire area.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's
Hmm.
a very public area with a lot of paranormal activity.
Hmm. Yeah, actually, the store itself is said to be haunted. We've used some of the equipment in the store, and the actual area of the store will get have cold spots every once in a while, which is associated with the paranormal. There's been objects that have just been thrown in the store
Oh,
just randomly.
that's
Uh,
crazy.
One of my coworkers actually, she didn't. We don't have name badges on our work, so just keep that in mind. One of my coworkers was using a piece of equipment one day to see, just to just messing around with it and stuff like that, and it actually started talking to her and saying her name through the piece of equipment.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Previously, didn't know her name or anything like that. We don't have name tags. We don't really ever say the names too often, but apparently it knew her name, so there's that. That was
That's crazy.
mm-hmm.
So
But
this equipment was is this equipment? So I'm assuming this piece of equipment is has the ability to produce audio, right? Like,
yeah,
I'd hope so. Okay.
most
Ha-
of the equipment that we have will be able to do a bunch of functions like just tell the energy in the areas. That's a very basic feature of all the equipment that we have. But more of the advanced ones will allow you to contact the spirit and actually let the spirit draw pictures and stuff on the device, which I don't
wow.
know, it could be
Have
kind of
you
good for.
witnessed any, or do you say pictures, like being able to draw?
Yeah, there's actually a screen that allows Spirit to draw pictures. Apparently, that's what they've said. I haven't personally seen this, but you never know, right?
Would you consider ghost hunting or paranormal searching a hobby for some people?
Oh yeah, we'll get actually a few people.
Similar to, I don't know, picking origin or oh wait, no, not that, not picking oranges, but similar to any other sport or something along the lines of that.
Oh yeah, there'll be people that will come in one day, and the people that are serious about it definitely know a lot about all the stuff because they'll they'll just come in one day and buy about $2,000 worth of equipment just
Wow.
out random and go do their own investigations because they'll know about the area. So there is a lot of people that are really, really into it. I know.
Would you personally consider yourself being into it, or has it gotten old? Have you, you know, it's not fresh or as exciting anymore that you've been
It,
there?
it's not too bad, I wouldn't say. I have become a little bit more piqued in my interests through just working there in general. So
Yeah.
over time, it could become more interesting. Probably, I could see it because once you get more into it, obviously you'll start learning more and more about it. But most of the people that do go on it eventually will completely just become so involved with it, it just takes over their life. Some of them, which isn't too good, I wouldn't say, but
Yeah.
you do, right?
Yep.
But there's also there's a few little things like one of the people that come over, they actually are supposedly they have you ever heard there's a show called Taps?
Taps. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that show we actually sell them their equipment there, so
Oh, really?
yeah, we sell all the equipment to them, so
So I was just recalling a Taps episode where the there was a bar, and they said every single time somebody entered the bathroom, or when people had entered the bathroom, they'd hear like some voice or somebody laughing when they opened up
hmm
the door or whatever. So when the Taps investigators entered the house, or I mean the bar, and they entered the bathroom, it instantly triggered like laughing when they opened the door. So they had realized there was speakers up on the roof that was like faking it all the whole time. And has there been any incidences like that, or at St. Augustine, where they're trying to fake for tourist purposes?
I would say a majority of the companies here do have experiences that they just try to scare everyone, so they do a bunch
Yeah.
of little things, but like there has been a lot of uh, conspiracy surrounding whether or not the lighthouse actually has real spirits or not, or if they're just
The
fake.
White House?
The lighthouse that's here in St.
The lighthouse. I thought you said the White House. I was a bit confused.
Uh,
President,
this is
the
true.
spirits. Oh, the lighthouse. Why is
Mhm.
there so much conspiracies revolving around that, and not like how? Why is there a conspiracy involved? Like, what's so strange about there possibly being an apparition or some ghost in the lighthouse or spirits in the lighthouse?
A few people
Because
have.
no evidence.
I mean, there is evidence. Lots of people will get photos, but a lot of photos have been tampered with, so that's
I
kind of
see. Yeah,
made the
I see.
area.
I see.
hmm
I mean, that's definitely
But
a possibility, though.
oh yes, of course.
And any historical background on that lighthouse? Has How long has it been there? For forever, right? That's been there for a long time.
Yeah, it's been there. I believe since the
Has it been?
1700s.
Have any attractions or buildings been refurbished or like remodeled, or for visual
Um,
purposes?
yes, there's actually a few
Because
little.
to
Mhm.
maintain a city, or to maintain something, you need to start cleaning it up at times,
Yeah,
and
there's.
sometimes you got to give up historical value. And has there been any possible loss of spirits with the reclean with the
Most of the spirits
refurbishment?
actually, once they have been, of course, like you said, renovating and such. So most of the spirits actually will become angered by this, and the activity level in that area will actually spike, causing them to either need to cleanse the area before moving on, or
Oh, wow.
sometimes sometimes they'll just not even really touch the area anymore if it gets too bad. There has been a few occurrences like that. But other than that, like there's one building that a doctor used to own actually, and it's over by St. George Street as well. The doctor used to own this building, and he used to have he had a secret tunnel behind his inside of his house leading up to a third floor that was supposedly secret and hidden away. And a couple finally found it, and it appeared that he had been operating on slaves and such, doing little experiments on them.
How recent was this?
This was, I would say, they said that he'd been experimenting somewhere in the 1500s, somewhere around that, and then it was discovered around the
I see.
1800s that he had been doing that.
Wow. So there's spirits, like slave spirits, or
Yeah, there's supposed to be a lot of spirits there that are angry because, of course, they were experimented on, so
they're taking
that
out
would,
their anger.
the deaths weren't exactly peaceful, so to speak.
Yeah. Has I've heard a lot about hotels being haunted or stuff like that. Have and people uh, reserve suites or rooms in these hotels
Yeah,
in hopes for a
actually,
thrill.
there's a hotel called the Casa Monica with the. Do you know the story behind Henry Flagler at all? Or
No, I do not.
okay, so pretty much, essentially, Henry Flagler, he was just a railroad tycoon, and got a bunch of his money from investing in Florida. Actually, he built up Florida completely. Before him, Florida was pretty much just a very rural, swampy area, but
Hmm.
he built up a majority of Florida, and through this, he built this hotel, one of the hotels he built for people to come down during the winter time. And that hotel actually was where he had his mistress stay. And one day, his mistress just decided that she didn't really want to be his mistress anymore, and she wanted to actually just be his wife in general.
Uh-huh.
So one day, she decided that she got too angry about it all and couldn't face it anymore, and she actually hung herself on the third floor in the Flagler, or not Flagler College, but in the Casa Monica, where you can actually stay in that suite. So a lot of guests have experienced writing on the wall through like a mirror. Like say you take a shower and the mirror is steamy, so they've seen like handprints on that mirror and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Actually, seen her put out her name on the mirror.
On the mayor.
Hmm. So there's a lot of things like that that occur there, and the Flagler College is actually supposed to be haunted by Henry Flagler as well. There's actually a tile on the ground. I don't know if you can find a photo of it, but it's supposed to be his face printed into it. The legend says that he's trapped in that hotel inside the college of hotel. The hotel used to be called Ponce de Leon Hotel, but now it's Flagler College. So he is supposed to haunt that, and they say that he lives through that tile that's on the ground. Lots of tourists will come by and just look at the tile. I have to show them where it is a lot often because I myself go to Flagler. So
Yeah, I was gonna mention, yeah, how I have, giving that he quote unquote haunts the college. Is there any other paranormal stories revolving around, revolving students or
mhm.
classrooms?
Yeah, actually, since the girls' dorms are actually they don't let people go on the third floor because once again, that's where
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, they won't let anybody go near the third floor because there's this one room where apparently two of the people hung themselves. They don't really know if it was a murder then a suicide, but it appeared that apparently they both hung themselves in that room. We don't really know why. Something probably revolving around Flagler, but they hung themselves in that room, and now that room cannot be accessed at all. Lots of students will go over there still and just poke around in there for fun, or try to poke around in there.
So
But
what exactly is on the third floor?
it's supposed to be two spirits. One that's kind of evil. They've seen scratches on people, whole body apparitions and such like that on that floor. And of course, all the mild chill spots and There's the doors have swung open a few times. Actually, the elevator going up to that floor has stopped when once arriving on that floor. So somebody was trapped over there for like 30 minutes or so.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's not too bad, I would say, as far as
So the dorms are just closed out on the third floor? Is that just?
just one wing of the
Oh,
dorms.
okay, I see, I see.
Mm. And then there's also, of course, a child that nobody knows who this child is. Maybe just a guess, because the hotel used to just have hold rich people during the winter
Yeah.
because it was cold or warm in Florida, so they would all flock down there. But there is supposedly a child that haunts the area as well. He can be seen. A lot of the girls will actually see him come into their dorm and say "Let's play" or something like that. Night.
Wow, that's like out of a horror movie almost.
Yeah, and he supposedly just has his red ball and he just goes around and
Just trolls.
controls the girls pretty much. Yeah, essentially.
um. So I mean, yeah. Wow, it's very just this one kid, huh?
Yeah, it's just supposed to be one child, and I mean, it might be more, but they're not really too sure. It seems like it's the same spirit each time, but you never know really. And other than that, Flagler College isn't too bad, I would say, other than those few little things.
Are there any special attractions or events, or even more activity from paranormal spirits in the Halloween or October seasons?
Some of the
October months.
seasons, actually, I would say a lot of the activity probably spikes sometime around the summer seasons, actually, because of how the battles and such were fought and all of that way back in the 1500s, 1400s between the English and Spanish. And actually, the city's 450th anniversary is coming up, so I'm interested to see if that makes any of the spirits jumpy because actually the king and queen of Spain will be in St. Augustine. So I don't know if that might arouse some of the spirits or something like that. It might,
Oh,
can't
that's
say for
possible.
sure, but since it is, maybe some of the soldiers will reactivate or something like that. You never know, right?
Yep.
But so that is coming up soon. So there's going to be a lot of people here.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure it gets pretty busy, right? In those.
oh yeah, yeah, especially since that's going to be coming up. So I'm not sure. That might scare away some of the spirits, or it might anger some of them.
Like,
Really could go either way.
yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of peaceful ghosts, right? Obviously, they just kind of mind their own business. I'm assuming, if
Yeah,
that's a
there's
thing.
a few that aren't too bad in the area. Most of them are supposed to be pretty bad, but I would say probably about 20% good and 80% bad.
Are there any haunted houses or like haunted events?
Yeah, most people actually say that the most of the area is actually just pretty much there's the Fountain of Youth actually that's at Flagler or in St. Augustine. That whole entire street has their neighborhood built on top of it now. And it used to be Indian burial grounds for I'm not sure which tribe, but there was, I believe, Osceola. You know what tribe that would be? Would that just be Seminole Indians or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was an Indian tribe, some Indian tribe, whoever Osceola led, was in that area before, and actually there's an Indian burial ground, and you know how all the horror movies don't build on top of Indian burial grounds.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, but
The underlying message.
yeah, but there's an entire neighborhood built on top of that Indian burial ground, so a lot of people experience tons of activity in their houses there. There's a few instances where this all the lights have shut off and all the doors have swung open on people and pots have been thrown at them.
So
Few
people
people have
actually
moved out.
live in these areas.
Oh yes, yeah.
And wow, I mean, I couldn't even
Um,
imagine living in
no,
a
yeah.
haunted, place. I don't know.
Mm, but it's mm, it's not too bad, like I said. But I mean, the whole area. Once you get used to it, I guess you kind of just get used to the spirits. As bad as
Yeah, I
that
could
is.
imagine it's after a certain point, you know, like most things, you start to, get adjusted to it.
Yeah, so there's a few little things that still are a little bothersome. Like there's supposed to be a few little really bad spirits here that possess people and such like that. But
Oh, really? Actual possessing?
there's supposed to be actually in one of the buildings that we go into on our tours. There has been an experience. One of the tour guides told me about when this husband and wife entered the area. And as soon as they entered, they just completely, apparently they were possessed, and they just started yelling at each other while on the tour.
Really?
And after the entire experience, once they left the building,
They
they
said they
actually did
couldn't
not
remember?
recall. Yeah, they did not recall any of the experience whatsoever. That's what they said, at
Similar to
least.
being hypnotized, really. It's just being possessed, really.
Uh huh. Exactly. But they apparently don't remember any of it. So who knows? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, that's
But
top level, right? Top tier right there. As
I
far
would be
as
up there.
paranormal levels go, just full
Yeah, there's
unconscious
a
like possession of somebody.
mhm. Yeah, that would definitely be top level because possessions are not something to mess around with.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a few actually. One of the tours you can actually do lets you stay overnight in one of the buildings that's supposed to have level 3 activity in it. So
Really, that's like they made that an attraction now, just or a tourist attraction
yeah, essentially.
for those thrill seekers who want to stay a night.
Yeah, I wanted to stay the entire night. There's a few places actually. I'll get off topic here real quick about still staying on topic of the paranormal though, but there's actually this house in I think Villanova. I'm not sure what state that is, but I think that's the city's name. It's called the Villanova Axe Murder House, and you can actually stay the entire night for about $600, I believe. They just let you bring in all your equipment. Well, not 600. I believe it's probably cheaper than that, but
I hope so.
yeah, they allow you to bring all your equipment in, do whatever you need, and they just give you the key to the house actually, and they just leave for the night. And actually, in that house, there was supposedly a man that broke in, and they don't really know why he broke in. He didn't take anything or anything like that, but he just broke in, and first off, he went over to the children's room and just axe murdered 5 of the kids that were in the family. And then he went over to the parents' room and just axe murdered them as well.
I
And
think I've heard
apparently,
of
he
that
explained
story. I think
that.
I do recall something of that nature. Just the full
Hmm.
slaughter of like a family or yeah,
Yeah, nobody really knows why he did it, but I guess he just did it for fun, maybe.
possibly.
As fun as
Uh,
that sounds, right? But
doesn't sound right, but as far as the story goes, sounds right.
so he pretty much after that, they've said that everyone can hear the children, and they're still trapped inside that house because of how brutally murdered they were, just axe murdered in their own home at night while they were sleeping. So once you stay in that house, you can stay there for the entire night. If you make it through, of course, you can leave at any time to get the key and such.
Yeah,
But so a lot of people will go there and stay there, and that's another little crazy place to stay. I don't know if I would stay there or not overnight. That
yeah,
sounds.
probably not.
Yeah. There's a lot of places. Actually, another little place that's a little bit off topic is there's this hotel. I think it's in what is that city called? Something Springs. I think at America Springs or something like that. But there's a hotel there that was actually used to be a hospital, and it was a mental asylum, and actually the doctor there performed experiments on all the patients that he had. So a lot of that is supposed to be extremely evil. You can stay at that hotel now. It's been converted into a five-star hotel, actually.
5 stars. Wow.
So you can stay there. It's about upwards of $400 a night, actually.
Yeah.
And I think it's Eureka Springs. Yes, that's correct, Eureka Springs. So that's the name of the city. I would say I don't think I would stay there either, just due to the history of the
No.
hotel. But a lot of people have experienced being attacked and such like that in their hotel room and being dragged across the floor in the middle of the night.
Wow.
But that's just another little haunting place. There's so many different
Yeah,
haunts.
there's so many, really.
hmm But it's the world we live in, right?
Yep. All right, so I guess that concludes the video, right?
Sure.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. That was very interesting. Uh, so all right, thanks for watching, guys. If you stuck through, appreciate that. Please comment below if you tell us your personal stories or experiences. We'd love to hear it. And all right, have a great day. Bye bye.